Discuss the problem and prospect of dairy zone agriculture in India and highlight the schemes for its development. Dairy farming is meant to rain-fed agriculture in regions where the environment is dry because of limited rainfall and absence of adequate irrigation facility, and where only such crops are grown which are amenable to dry conditions. The limit has been set at 750 millimeter isoheight. Dryland farming areas have been distinguished from absolutely arid and desert or desert part, with an average annual rainfall 375 millimeter, whereas areas having a relatively assured and high rainfall 1125 millimeter, and on the other hand, there are 128 districts in India which have a low to medium rainfall and very limited irrigation facilities. Dryland areas are and a very limited irrigation facility. Dryland areas account for 89.69% of the net cultivated area in Maharashtra, 87.7% of MP, 82% in Gujarat, 81.2% in Rajasthan, and 81.2% in Odisha. The dryland agriculture is mostly practiced in tropical and semi-arid regions. Central part of the tropical and semi-arid region, central part of Rajasthan, Saurashtra, region of Gujarat. Rain shadow areas of Western Ghats in Maharashtra and Karnataka. Cropping and dryland is said to be gamble. With monsoon, crop production is in dry land area is very low, unstable and uneconomic, yield to abnormality and uncertainty of monsoon rains. Even though due contribution from dry land towards the national basket is only 47%, its share in the production of millets, coarse cereals, pulses, oilseeds, and raw cotton is significant, and development of agriculture and dryland is required to increase food grain production, to ensure national food security. It is estimated that crop production and in non-irrigated areas can be tripled by introducing indigenous dryland farming technology, correction of regional and nutrition imbalance. 3. Potential generating greater employment opportunities. D. Restoring ecological balance. E. To bring stability in agricultural production. Finally, for industrial development. Unlike the irrigated farming, the dryland agriculture has many constraints, starting with climate, soil, crops, and associated conditions. Rainfall is the crucial factor among climate pattern parameter, having a great influence on the crop to be grown. The rainfall is not only but erratic and unpredictable and distributed in short period in rain-fed areas. The soils in dryland show great diversity in texture, structure, depth, type of clay, and organic matter content. The currently cultivated dryland crops are not stable. Also, the present cultivations are not tolerant to drought and nutrient status, pests and diseases, and other soil-related constraints hampering crop cultivation. Majority of dryland farmers are very poor and economically unsound. This is due to non-availability of basic resources like inputs at a reasonable rates, lack of infrastructural facility, lack of credit, environmental changes such as water logging and insalinity. These elements of high risk and insecurity in rain-fed cultivation rain-fed cultivation. It discourages the farmers from investing additional inputs like fertilizer, better seeds and plants. Production measures, and moreover all dryland are not suitable for crops. Some may be suitable for pasture development and other for horticulture and agroforestry system. Okay, alternative land use systems are less risky and more productive and remunerative, particularly on marginal land. Infrastructural support is necessary for the promoting dryland farming. Sound should given emphasis on the following: soil and water conservation measures, readily utilize the erratic, uneven and uncertain monsoon rain, selection of suitable tolerant early maturing crops varieties, and it should be high yielding varieties. Use of moderate level fertilizer, plant protection chemicals, suitability, stability and sustainability in farm income, providing irrigation facilities, provision of adequate infrastructure that in communication, marketing and storage facilities. Thus, in order to encourage the stabilize agricultural produce and of dry zone agriculture has been included as part of the 25-point program. Okay, special schemes have been drawn up for the purpose. In order to overcome the element of risk, the national strategy for the achieved development of dry zone agriculture give better water management practices. The aim is to reduce the runoff and maximize the seepage of rainfall in the soil layers so that the soil moisture is available onto the plants. GOVT has given high priority for the development of dryland areas, and several programs and projects have been launched for utilization of potential of these areas. For realizing the project's requirement of about 240 metric ton of annual food production by 2000 AD, and to smoothen our fluctuation in annual production, reducing regional disparities between irrigated and vast rain-fed areas, restoring ecological balance, and by greening rain-fed areas through appropriate mixture of trees, shrubs, and generating employment for rural masses and reducing large-scale migration from rural areas to already congested cities and towns. Holistic approach for integrated farming system development on watershed basis in rain-fed areas would be in pursuit of the development activities under the National Watershed Development Project for rain-fed areas. In the 8th plan, and NWDPRA, the centrally sponsored scheme, was launched in 1990 to 1991. And which covered 28 states and 380. The project aimed to achieve twin objectives: sustainable production of biomass and restoration of ecological balance in the vast rain-fed areas of the country. It specifically focused on conservation, upgradation and utilization of natural endowments like land, water, plant, animals, and human resource in the harmonious and integrated manner, and low cost, simple, effective, and replicable technology. Generation of massive employment, reduction of inequalities between integrated and irrigated and rain-fed areas. Other groups are sponsored several schemes such as the Integrated Rural Development Program, the Drought-Prone Area Development Program, and the Food for Work and Employment Guarantee Program, etc. are launched to improve the lots of the rural poor in the dryland area. The program have infused some economic stability, but the fundamental problem have remained unsolved. Dryland farmers can be moderated only by the introduction of quick maturing crops, new technologies, new techniques, soil mixture conservation, animal-based activities, and small-scale industries. The International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, Patan Cheru, Hyderabad, Central Avid Zone Research Institute, and Jodhpur have taken some of these issues. Thank you.